The whistle blew, sharp as a knife through my chest, and the entire stadium erupted. Not for me, but for him. My identical twin, Alex, had just sunk the game winner from half-court, his arms thrown skyward like a god claiming his throne. While I stood frozen on the soccer field sidelines, cleats caked in mud from a practice no one watched. "Ben, you're the shadow," he laughed later that night in our cramped dorm room, clapping my shoulder too hard, his words landing like a foul I couldn't call. In the dim glow of his championship trophy, I saw it then. Our lives, tangled like the laces on my boots, but only one thread shining bright enough to be seen. We were born under a harvest moon in small-town Ohio, the kind of place where cornfields stretch like forgotten promises and Friday nights mean high school football under roaring lights, except for us Thompsons, who bent the rules from the start. Mom used to say we came into the world fighting for space, Alex kicking first, me following with a wail that echoed his, identical down to the freckle on our left collarbones, but different in every beat of our hearts. Dad, a burly mechanic with grease under his nails and dreams deferred, saw potential in us both. "Boys," he'd grunt over dinner, wiping his brow with a rag that smelled of oil and regret. "Sports'll get you out of here. Make something of yourselves." Alex took to basketball like it was oxygen, dribbling that orange sphere before he could walk straight, his shots swishing nets with a poetry that silenced doubters. Me? Soccer. The beautiful game, they called it in the grainy YouTube clips I'd sneak watch on my flip phone. The flow, the finesse, the way a single pass could weave souls together on the pitch. But in Eldridge, Ohio, soccer was the weird cousin at the family reunion, tolerated, but never invited to the dance. By freshman year at Eldridge High, the lines were drawn. Alex was the golden boy, varsity starter at point guard, scouts whispering in the bleachers about Division I offers before he could grow his first real beard. Practices bled into poetry for him. He'd emerge from the gym, jersey soaked, recounting every crossover like a battlefield victory. I'd nod, forcing a grin, while my own afternoons blurred in the empty fields behind the school, chasing a ball that rolled back indifferent as the wind. Coach Harlan, a chain-smoking relic with a whistle around his neck like a noose, barely glanced my way. "Soccer? That's for Europeans, kid. Here we hoop or we hike." But I persisted, veins humming with the rhythm of footwork, the thrill of outmaneuvering an invisible defender. Late nights, I'd drag Alex out to the backyard goal we'd nailed together from scrap wood, trading kicks for shots until our lungs burned and stars pricked the sky. "You're gonna make it big, Benny," he'd say, ruffling my hair like we were still 8. Just like me. Brotherhood, pure and unfractured, until it wasn't. It started small, the way fractures do in glass you don't notice until the shatter. Sophomore year, the town buzzed with Alex's name. Eldridge Eagles were state contenders, and he was the engine, posters of his silhouette plastered on the feed store windows. I made JV soccer that fall, but our games drew maybe 20 fans, mostly parents nursing thermoses of bad coffee. Still, there was Javier. God, Javier Ruiz, transfer from Chicago with eyes like polished obsidian, and a laugh that uncoiled something tight inside me. He joined the team mid-season, all lean muscle and effortless grace, his passes slicing the field like secrets shared in code. We'd linger after practice, stretching on the dew-kissed grass, talking Messi versus Ronaldo until the sun dipped low. "You're different, Ben," he said one October evening, his accent wrapping around my name like a promise. "Not like these corn-fed jocks. You see the game, the poetry in it." My heart stuttered, a fumbled ball in my chest. I was 15, and the world was shifting under my feet, colors brighter, air thicker. That night, under the bleacher's shadow, our fingers brushed accidental on purpose, and I knew. This was love, raw and unnamed, blooming in the quiet spaces Alex's spotlight never touched. But secrets in Eldridge, they fester like untreated wounds. Alex noticed the change in me first. The way I'd bail on post-game burgers to study, or how my phone buzzed with texts that made me smile like an idiot. "Who's the girl, twin?" He'd tease over breakfast, Mom's pancakes cooling between us. I'd shrug, cheeks burning, muttering about homework. Dad, oblivious, would launch into tales of his own glory days on the wrestling mat, but his eyes lingered on Alex, pride swelling like a balloon about to burst. "That boy's got the fire," he'd say, clapping Alex's back. Me? Invisible. The soccer kid with the funny accent in his dreams, because yeah, Javier had me dreaming in Spanish now. Winter hit like a defender's tackle, blanketing Ohio in ice that locked the fields and turned our backyard goal into a frozen relic. Basketball season peaked, Alex carrying the Eagles to semis, his face on the local news, that cocky grin flashing under studio lights. I tagged along to games, cheering from the nosebleeds, my cleats traded for sneakers that felt wrong. Javier and I texted nonstop, stolen memes about botched goals, playlists of Latin rock that made my pulse sync with his. Then, one blizzardy February night, it escalated. School was canceled, the world hushed white, and Javier invited me over to his family's cramped apartment above the taqueria. His mom was at work, siblings scattered. It was just us, hot chocolate steaming on the coffee table. A FIFA game paused on the TV. We talked for hours about his parents' immigration saga, the fear of being deported that shadowed his every goal. About my twin, the pressure of being half of him. "You deserve your own light, Ben," Javier whispered, his hand finding mine, warm and sure. Our lips met tentative, then fierce, a kiss tasting of cocoa and courage. It wasn't fireworks. It was a hearth, steady and igniting. For the first time, I felt seen not as Alex's echo but as Ben whole. Spring thawed the fields, and with it came the tryouts for varsity soccer. I poured everything into it. Dawn runs along the river, drills until my thighs screamed, visions of Javier's proud nod fueling me. Alex helped, even lacing up boots he hadn't touched since Pee Wee League. "Show 'em what Thompsons are made of," he'd say, tossing me the ball with a wink. Coach Harlan grunted approval at my footwork, muttering about potential as he jotted notes. Javier made the cut too, our lockers side by side, towels brushing in the haze of the locker room. Stolen glances became currency, a brush of shoulders a thrill that outshone any goal. But the whispers started. Ruiz and Thompson, thick as thieves, guys joked, oblivious to the truth. Alex cornered me after a scrimmage, sweat beading on his brow. "Spill it, Ben." "Javier?" Seriously. His tone wasn't angry, just probing like he was sizing up an opponent. I froze, words tangling. "It's nothing," I lied, heart hammering. He studied me, that twin intuition flickering, then shrugged. "Cool. Just don't let it distract you. We've got legacies to build." Legacies, plural. But his eyes said singular. Summer scorched Eldridge, turning the air to soup and the fields to battlegrounds. Alex landed a spot at Ohio State summer camp, his bags packed with dreams of Buckeye glory. I stayed local, coaching a youth league, Javier my constant shadow. We explored, back roads to the lake, where we'd skip stones and share stories under weeping willows. Midnight drives in his beat-up Civic, windows down, his hand on my knee like an anchor. Love deepened, roots twisting through me. "Te quiero," he'd murmur against my temple, and I'd echo it back, the words foreign yet fitting as a perfect pass. But home loomed a pressure cooker. Dad's garage radio blared ESPN, analysts dissecting Alex's highlights while my quiet triumphs, leading the under-12s to a tournament win, earned a pat on the head. Mom, softer, sensed my glow. "You seem happy, baby," she'd say, folding laundry, her eyes hopeful. I wanted to tell her, to crack open the world, but fear stitched my lips shut. Eldridge wasn't ready for a gay son, twin or not. And Alex? He called from Columbus, voice electric. "Ben, this is it, scouts everywhere. You gotta come up next year." His excitement was mine once. Now it stung, a reminder of paths diverging. Junior year dawned with promise and peril. Soccer season kicked off strong. We went 5-0, Javier and I a tandem unstoppable, our chemistry on the pitch mirroring off it. Fans trickled in, finally, and cheers included my name, a balm on old wounds. Alex's basketball ramped up too, Eagles undefeated, his stats a local legend. Brotherhood held, fragile thread. Joint family dinners where Dad toasted my boys. Mom beaming, us exchanging glances loaded with unsaid truths. But cracks widened. At homecoming, Alex was king. Crown perched on his curls, date on his arm. A cheerleader named Riley with laughter like wind chimes. I watched from the punch bowl, Javier's text buzzing in my pocket. Meet me outside? We slipped away to the football field's edge, kissing under the harvest moon that birthed us, stars winking approval. It felt eternal until headlights swept the lot, Alex's truck idling. The betrayal brewed slow, then boiled in November. State soccer playoffs loomed. We'd clawed to semis against a Cincinnati powerhouse. Alex had his own stakes, basketball districts, a rivalry game that packed the gym. Wish I could be there, he said pre-dawn, lacing his Nikes. Kick ass for us. I nodded, throat tight. The match was brutal. Rain-slicked turf, defenders like walls. Javier feeding me a cross that I buried in the net for the winner. Ecstasy. Pure. Teammates mobbing. Crowd chanting Thompson. Thompson. Mine finally. Javier lifted me off the ground. Our hug lingering a beat too long, joy blurring lines. Word spread fast. By dinner, Dad was pounding my back. Mom tearing up. Alex texted from the road. Heard you owned it. Proud. Bro, OSU scouts at my game tomorrow. Fingers crossed. Fate, cruel jester, twisted next. Post-game party at Mikey's barn. Bonfire crackling. Kegs flowing under harvest lights. Javier pulled me into the shadows. His kiss urgent. Hands framing my face. We're unstoppable, mi amor. Laughter echoed. I pulled back, scanning faces. Safe. But Alex showed, unannounced, fresh from his 30-point triple-double. Couldn't miss celebrating the other half. He grinned, bear-hugging me, beer in hand. The night blurred. Toasts, shots, stories swapped. Javier blended in, charming as ever, but Alex watched us. Too closely, twin radar pinging. Later, by the fire's embers, he cornered Javier. So you and Ben tight, huh? Javier laughed it off easy. Best mate on the team. Alex's eyes narrowed, then flicked to me, probing. I deflected with a joke, but sleep evaded that night, anxiety gnawing. The shatter came midweek, innocuous as a routine text. I was in the library, cramming for chem, when my phone lit. Alex, we need to talk. Now. Parking lot. Heart sinking. I bolted out, rain pattering on the pavement like accusations. He leaned on his truck, arms crossed, face storm-clouded. Ben, what's going on with you and Javier? Direct, no preamble. I played dumb. Teammates, man. You know. He stepped closer, voice low. I saw you. At the party. The way he looks at you. Like you're his whole world. And you look back the same. Blood roared in my ears. Denial surged, but his eyes, our eyes, held no judgment, just hurt. I'm your twin. I know you. Are you gay? The word hung, weaponized by silence. I crumpled, tears hot. Yeah, I am. And Javier. He's everything. Relief cracked open, spilling truth. Alex exhaled, pulling me into a hug. Shit, Ben. Why didn't you say? I'm not, we're family. But his grip tightened, not comfort, control. Dad, the town. It'll kill him. And my scholarship, scouts ask about family. Clean image, you know? Warning bells clanged. What are you saying? He pulled back, jaw set. We fix this. You end it. Quietly. Or it ends us. Betrayal's blade twisted slow. I confronted Javier that afternoon. Rain mirroring my turmoil. Alex knows. He wants me to. Stop. Javier's face fell, anger flashing. Your own brother? That's cold, Ben. We argued, him pushing for honesty, me paralyzed by fear. Give me time, I begged. Our kiss goodbye tasting of ash. Days blurred. Soccer practices mechanical. Alex's support, a surveillance. His texts check-ins laced with pleas. For the team. For Dad. The playoffs quarterfinal approached. Tension coiling. Alex's basketball surged. Headlines screaming his name. Our shared last a solo spotlight. I confided in Mom, halting. I love someone. A boy. Tears streamed. She held me, whispering, my brave boy. We'll face it together. But Dad? Untouchable. Climax crashed in semis. Soccer versus Toledo, stakes sky high. Alex skipped his game to support. Sitting front row, his presence a weight. The match was war. Mud, elbows, a red card sidelining Javier early. I fought alone, channeling rage into every sprint. But a late penalty missealed our loss. Devastation. In the locker room, sobs racked me. Javier found me, pulling me close. It's not over. We are. But whispers followed, teammates glancing, rumors igniting. Alex waited outside, face ashen. You played good, Ben. Hollow. That night, the bomb dropped. Dad's shop phone rang. A concerned parent from the game, piecing together inappropriate touches. Dad confronted us at dinner, voice thunder. What's this about you and that Ruiz boy, Benjamin? Mom gasped. Alex stared at his plate. I confessed, voice steady for the first time. I'm gay, Dad, and I love him. Silence, then explosion. This house? Under my roof? No son of mine. Words failed him, hurt raw. Alex jumped in, not defending, deflecting. It's a phase, Dad. Ben's confused. The pressure, soccer, not panning out. Betrayal, full force. My twin selling me out to save face. I bolted, rain lashing, Javier's door my haven. We held each other, world crumbling. The fallout was apocalypse. Dad grounded me, forbade Javier contact. Scouts pulled back from Alex's whispers of family drama. Mom mediated, her humanism a bridge. Love doesn't choose sides, boys. It builds them. Alex cornered me in the garage, tears streaking. I panicked. Dad's dream, our dream. I couldn't lose it. Rage boiled. You lost me instead. We fought, fists clenched but unfurled. Brothers, bloodbound. You're the star. I spat. Always were. Soccer? Me? Shadows. He recoiled. I pushed you because I believed. Without you, I'm half. Truth pierced. We collapsed, sobbing, mending fractures. Spring brought reckoning. Dad's silence thawed to grunts, then questions. Halting talks over coffee. His mechanic's hands trembling. I failed you, son. Both. Javier and I endured. Love tempered by fire. Walks hand in hidden hand. Alex's OSU offer held, but he deferred, enrolling local to sort family. Soccer senior year, I led us to regionals. Basketball, he shared the court with stories of my grit. Recognition bloomed, dual legacies intertwined. Graduation under that harvest moon. Caps tossed, futures beckoning. Javier to community college, me scouting D3 offers. Alex Buckeye-bound but promising weekends home. Dad hugged us fierce, whispering, proud of my boys both. On the bleachers, Javier's hand in mine. Open now, Alex nodding approval. Brotherhood reborn, not in spotlight's glare, but hearth's glow. We were twins, one hoop, one pitch, but recognized as whole. Love, in all forms, the true game winner. The summer after graduation stretched lazy and loaded. Ohio humidity clinging like unspoken regrets. I'd landed a partial ride to Denison University, a small liberal arts school an hour east where the soccer program hummed with quiet ambition. Nothing like Alex's Big Ten blaze, but mine. Javier committed to Columbus State, close enough for weekends. His dreams of coaching youth leagues mirroring the fire I'd seen in his eyes that first practice. We planned it all in stolen hours. Drives to the Hocking Hills, where we'd hike trails laced with wildflowers. His laughter echoing off sandstone cliffs as we picnicked on peanut butter sandwiches and dreams. This is us now, Ben. No shadows. He'd say, tracing patterns on my palm. The world feeling vast and kind for once. But home tugged, a gravitational pull of half-mended wounds. Dad's transformation was the miracle nobody saw coming. The man who'd once dismissed fancy footwork for real American grit started showing up to my pickup games at the community center. Thermos in hand, nodding at my crosses like they were gospel. Clean execution, son, he'd mutter, and it'd land like gold. Mom orchestrated it, her gentle prods over pot roast turning into full evenings of family footage. Old Vetus tapes of us toddlers tumbling after balls. Alex's wobbly free throws syncing with my toddler kicks. Laughter filled the kitchen, thawing the ice that had formed. Alex, home from orientation, dove into his OSU swag traded for neutral ground. "Remember when we bet on who could juggle longer?" He'd rib, pulling out the battered soccer ball from the attic. We'd play 2-on-2 in the yard, Dad refereeing with comical whistles, Mom cheering from the porch swing. It was reconstruction, brick by careful brick, our brotherhood the mortar. Yet doubt lingered, a low hum beneath the harmony. Alex's calls from Columbus brimmed with Big Ten buzz. Campus parties, nil deals whispering girls and guys he confided one tipsy night, orbiting his orbit. "It's surreal, Ben, but I miss the real stuff. You, the field, Dad's bad jokes." Envy flickered, unbidden. My Denison emails were polite form letters, soccer a footnote to liberal arts prestige. Javier sensed it during our lake escapes, his head on my shoulder as fireflies danced. "You're enough. We're enough." His touch grounded me, but the betrayal scar itched, a reminder that even twins could fracture under pressure. One night, post-hike, we lay on a blanket stargazing, his fingers interlaced with mine. "What if college changes us?" I whispered, vulnerability cracking my voice. He turned, eyes reflecting constellations. "It'll test us, but love like this, it's the constant." We kissed slow, the universe approving, and for a moment, I believed him utterly. Fall unpacked boxes and anxieties in equal measure. Denison's campus sprawled green and gothic, a world away from Eldridge's flatlands. Ivy-cloaked halls buzzing with poli-sci debates and indie folk sets in coffee shops. Soccer tryouts were brutal. East Coast talent sharp as switchblades. My Ohio footwork tested to breaking. But I made starter Wing, the coach, a wiry ex-pro from Jersey, growling approval at my vision. "You see angles others miss, Thompson. Use it." Practices forged bonds quick. Teammates like Nate, a lanky freshman from Philly with a killer left foot and zero filter, became fast allies. "Gay? Straight? Who cares? Pass the damn ball." He'd quip, normalizing what Eldridge had demonized. Javier visited first weekend, navigating the dorms with a duffel of his mom's tamales. We explored. Arboretum walks hand in hand. No hiding. Late-night diner runs where he'd steal my fries, our laughter drawing smiles from waitstaff. "This is freedom," he breathed, and it was bright, unshadowed. Alex's world contrasted sharp. OSU's Coliseum swallowed him, scarlet waves chanting his name come November. His texts a barrage of highlights. 30 points again. Crowd went nuts. Pride swelled, twin tether pulling. But so did the chasm. He FaceTimed sporadically. Backdrop a frat house haze. Stories laced with bravado masking something hollow. "Parties are wild, but it's not home." I probed gentle. "You good, bro?" He'd deflect with jokes, but his eyes, our eyes, held storms. Dad drove up for my first home game, Mom in tow. Their presence in the sparse stands a victory sweeter than any goal. We won 2-1, my assist sealing it. Post-match, Dad's hug crushed wind from me. "That's my boy," Alex called after, voice tinny. "Killed it, Ben. Wish I was there." But he wasn't. Districts clashing schedules, his orbit accelerating. Thanksgiving anchored us. Home smelled of turkey and tension's ghost. We gathered round the table, grace said over scars. Dad raised a glass. To new chapters and old loves. His glance at me and Javier, invited now, held warmth, not wariness. Conversation flowed. Alex's nil sneaker deal, my poli-sci paper on immigration, inspired by Javier's stories. Javier's coaching gig at a local rec center. Laughter peaked when Dad recounted a garage mishap, oil splashing like a bad penalty. But undercurrents swirled. Later, Alex pulled me aside in the garage, tools clinking like confessions. "I'm struggling, Ben. The pressure scouts, agents, expectations. It's like I'm performing 24/7. Vulnerability, rare as a clean sheet." I clapped his shoulder. "You're more than the game. Remember? He nodded, but added soft. And you happy? With him? Truth surged. Yeah. He sees me. A beat. Then good. You deserve that. Hug tight. Fractures flexing, not breaking. Winter deepened divides. Denison's snow muffled the world. Javier's drives grew sparse. Midterms devouring Columbus State. Texts sustained us. Good morning memes, late-night voice notes of his guitar strums, but distance gnawed. My game elevated, starting every match, scouts from Mac schools lurking. Recognition trickled. A local paper profile, the other Thompson, soccer's silent star. Alex clipped it, framing a copy for his dorm. Knew you'd shine. His season exploded, conference player of the week, March Madness whispers. Jealousy? Fleeting. Mostly joy. For him the path cleared. For me, carving my own. Spring bloomed, betrayal's echo. Easter break, Javier and I planned a getaway. Cheap motel in the hills, just us. But Alex called frantic. Emergency scrimmage. Coach says my shot's off. Need you here, Ben? For luck. Torn, I bailed on Javier, apologies tumbling. Family first, I rationalized. But his hurt voice lingered. Am I not? OSU's gym thrummed electric. I fed Alex passes from the sideline, our old backyard rhythm sinking his form. He nailed it, gratitude pouring post-session. Beers at a dive, toasting twins unbreakable. But Javier's silence stretched days, texts curt. Miss you. Sorry. No reply until, need space, Ben. This pull, it's tearing. Panic clawed. I drove to Columbus, pounding his door. He opened weary, letting me in. It's not just the cancel. It's everything. Your world orbits him still. Tears hot. No. You and me, that's center. We talked dawn through, rebuilding with truths. My guilt over Alex's pedestal, his fear of being second. Love reaffirmed, fiercer. But the scar? It wept. Summer healed or tried. Back in Eldridge, we worked Dad's shop, me on oil changes, Javier detailing when he could, Alex home post-session. Barbecues became ritual. Ribs smoking, stories swapping, Dad's tales of youth weaving us tighter. One July Eve, fireflies swirling. Alex dropped a bomb casual as kindling. Met someone. Guy from the team back up forward. New. Shock, then grins. Welcome to the club, bro. He laughed. Relief flooding. Kept it buried. Scared it'd tank everything. Mirror of my own closet, once. We bonded deeper, sharing navigations. His stolen glances in the locker room, my Denison openness. You're brave, he admitted. Paved the way. Brotherhood evolved, no longer competition but compass. Fall senior year at Denison crested waves. Soccer peaked nationals bound. Javier transferred up, rooming off campus. Our lives entwining seamless. Alex's OSU stardom solidified. Final Four run. His face on SportsCenter. But he visited, suiting up for a pickup game on our turf. Cleats borrowed, laughing through fumbles. Your game's poetry, Ben. Mine's just noise. Humble, healing. Dad flew out for playoffs, Mom too. Their cheers thundering sparse stands. We reached quarters, my hat trick etching legend. Post-win, family huddle. Dad's arm around Alex, then me, Javier woven in. My stars, he boomed. Climax loomed unexpected. OSU's championship game clashed our semis, impossible choice. Alex begged, be here, twin. For the legacy. Javier urged, your moment, amor. Heart split, I flipped a coin, soccer. Traveled to Cali. Turf baked under SoCal sun. We lost 1-0. A deflection cruel. Devastation. But Javier's hold anchored. Alex's Bucks won. Buzzer beater his pandemonium. His call post-game. Watched your stream. Killed it till the end. Love you, Ben. No resentment. Just pride, doubled. Graduation duel. Denison's green quad. Javier's diploma beside mine. Poli-sci degree framing coaching dreams. Alex drove in, jersey swapped for suit. Toasting at the after-party. Dad's speech, teary. Twins taught me. Love recognizes no bounds. Basketball, soccer, hearts, they all score. Summer jobs segued pros. Me scouting USL, Javier assistant coach, Alex NBA draft buzz. Brotherhood? Unbreakable now, shadows banished. In Eldridge's fields, under that moon, we kicked and shot. Futures bright. Love the eternal goal. The draft lottery night in Chicago hit like a championship buzzer. Alex's name flashed on the ESPN cheerin'. 14th pick to the Chicago Bulls. His whoop echoing through our hotel suite like vindication for every dawn shoot-around. I hugged him fierce, the scent of his cologne mixing with victory sweat, while Dad pumped fists yelling, "That's my boy!" And Mom dabbed tears with a napkin monogrammed from some long-ago fair. Javier clapped my back, his grin wide but eyes holding that quiet pride he reserved for moments when the world aligned. "Told you he'd soar," he murmured, and I nodded, throat tight. Not with envy, but a swell of something purer, like watching your reflection claim the light you'd always known it deserved. But as confetti rained on the broadcast, my phone buzzed with a Denison Allums email. USL tryouts invite for Columbus Crew 2. A foot in the pro door. Small print to Alex's boldface, but mine. Recognition, finally, in cleats. Relocation whirlwind us. Alex to the Windy City. A high-rise condo overlooking Lake Michigan. Signing bonuses, buying sleek suits, and a Maserati he swore was practical. Me and Javier to a modest apartment in Columbus's short north. Artsy vibe with brick walls and coffee roasts wafting from below. Our nest, painted in team colors, a framed photo from Denison semis on the mantle. Us mid-celebration, mud-streaked and unbreakable. Dad sold the house in Eldridge, retiring to a lakeside cabin up north. Mom's garden dreams blooming wild. "Come visit," he'd gruff over calls. "But don't forget the grill." Visits became sacraments. Holidays at the cabin, Alex flying commercial. Image, bro, no diva vibes. Us piling in for walleye fries and fireside yarns. Brotherhood thrived, evolved, texts trading memes of botched plays, calls dissecting games with twin shorthand only we decoded. Pro-life for Alex was glamour laced with grind. Rookie season, he carved minutes off the bench, crossovers drawing ooze from United Center crowds, endorsements trickling. A Gatorade spot where he dunked under city lights. But isolation crept. He confided over bourbon one cabin night, lake lapping like a confessor. "It's lonely up here, Ben. Teammates solid, but no roots. And Derek, my guy, it's casual, fun, but he's got his own orbit. Derek, the forward, all tattoos and easy charm, but commitment shy." I listened, Javier stoking the fire silent, then offered, "Roots grow where you plant 'em. Bring him here. See if it sticks." Alex eyed me, that mirror gaze softening. "You and Jay, how do you make it look easy?" Javier chuckled from the shadows. "We fight. We choose. Every day. Wisdom, hard-won from our fractures." My world spun earthier. Crew 2 tryouts were meat grinder. Vets eyeing rookies like prey, drills pushing lungs to burst. But I clicked, earning a contract as attacking mid, my vision earning nods from the gaffer. Matches in minor league parks, stands half full but fervent. Javier in the front row with a sign, "Thompson 10, the real MVP." Nights postgame, we'd debrief over tacos at our spot. His coaching stories from the rec center weaving with my highlights. Love deep and domestic. Grocery runs debating quinoa versus rice. Lazy Sundays with his playlists and my podcasts on sports psych. But conflict simmered subtle. A Sports Illustrated blurb on Thompson twins. Hoops air and soccer shadow stung. Old narrative, repackaged. Alex raged when I showed him, "Bullshit. You're killing it, USL's just the start." He amplified me, tweeting clips of my goals to his 50K followers. "My twins got moves MLS needs to watch. Thompson takeover." Boost landed. Scouts pinged. Whispers of promotions. Betrayal's ghost stirred in spring. Innocuous as a misplaced call. Alex's team slumped. Injuries sidelining him. Frustration boiling into late-night vents. Fans turning. Jerks want highlights, not heart. One tipsy ramble, he spilled. Derek bailed. Said the spotlight's too hot. Not ready for headlines. Heartbreak. Raw. I drove up unannounced, Javier in tow, crashing his condo with takeout and bad movies. We nursed him through bullshit sessions on couches, me sharing my own doubts. Remember semis? Felt like failure till you called. He gripped my shoulder, eyes wet. You're my anchor, Ben. Always. But in vulnerability, old patterns peaked. Don't tell Dad. Can't look weak. Protector mode. Shielding his pedestal. I bit back urge to push, choosing grace. Summer tourney, a USL showcase in LA, thrust me spotlight ward. Alex flew out, courtside at the adjacent NBA Summer League, Dual Thompson's trending. My goal, a curling beauty from 30 yards, went viral. Post-match interview, Mike thrust. Dedication to my twin. He showed me how to chase dreams. Clips crossed orbits. Bulls fans hyping the soccer bro. Dinner that night. Rooftop overlooking Hollywood. Javier toasting. To recognition earned. Alex clinked, but added quiet. Yours feels purer. No agents. Just you. Envy, admiration, love, fraternal, laced romantic in its depth. Fall brought storm. Crew 2 pushed playoffs. Alex's Bulls rebounded, but Derek's ghost lingered, hookups fleeting. A tabloid sniff, paparazzi snapping him at a club with a mystery guy, ignited rumors. He called panicked. Ben, it's spiraling. PR's in damage control. Straight ally spin. Rage flared. Own it, Alex. Like I did. Silence, then. Easy for you, small pond. Wound reopened. Betrayal's echo. His fear eclipsing my courage. Javier mediated over group call. Pressure's universal. But hiding? It hollows. Alex agreed, halting, but the call ended tense. Climax crested Thanksgiving. Cabin snowed in. Dad sensed the rift, cornering us by the wood stove. Boys? Life's not drafts or goals. It's showing up. Tears flowed. Alex cracked. I'm scared, Dad. Gay in the league? Backlash could end me. Dad pulled him close. Son, real strength's in truth. Your mother's, Ben's, hell mine. We weathered. Mom nodded, eyes fierce. Love's the draft that picks you. Alex exhaled, resolve hardening. Coming out tweet next morning. Proud to play my game and love who I love. Be seen. Backlash hit. Trolls, dip in jersey sales. But allies surged. League supported. Fans waving rainbow pins at games. Alex emerged, lighter, calling me post-game. Freed. Ben. Thanks for the push. Winter healed. My playoffs ended quarters, but promotion loomed. MLS first team. Javier's coaching gig upgraded, youth academy. Alex's rookie year closed all rookie nods. Derek a footnote. Spring bloomed joint ventures. Charity match, Thompsons versus locals, hoop soccer hybrid drawing crowds. Goals traded, laughs louder, Dad refereeing with glee. Recognition, dual billboards in Eldridge. Thompson twins, champions of heart. Yet depth called. Javier proposed one starry cabin night, ring simple, lake reflected. Build forever? Yes, breathless. Alex best man, toasting. To loves that recognize us whole. Brotherhood, romantic in loyalty, wove eternal. In America's vast fields, pitches and courts, we ran side by side, lights shared. The wedding planning turned our lives into a highlight reel of chaos and charm. Javier and I elbow deep in Pinterest boards and vendor calls from our Columbus kitchen. The fridge magnetized with fabric swatches and catering menus that smelled faintly of empanadas, even unopened. Beach or barn? He'd tease, his chin on my shoulder as we scrolled, and I'd counter with stars or sunsets. Knowing full well it'd be the lakeside cabin, neutral ground, Dad's domain, where family roots ran deepest. Alex jumped in as unofficial hype man, flying down from Chicago with mock suits and venue scouts. His Bulls schedule flexing for bro duty. Gotta make it epic, think MLS halftime show meets NBA flair. He'd quip, but his eyes held that twin earnestness, the one that said he was mending what he'd once cracked. Dad grumbled about fancy nonsense, but secretly carved the arch from cabin pine. Mom stitching quilts from our old jerseys. scarlet soccer panels stitched to black and gold hoops, a tapestry of us. Spring training overlapped the frenzy, my MLS debut looming with the crew first team. Nerves like pregame jitters, but amplified by stadium lights and real stakes. Javier's academy role bloomed. He mentored a squad of inner-city kids, his passion a mirror to mine, evenings filled with tales of their first goals, his voice animated over stir-fry. One boy's got your vision, Ben. Calls himself Little Thompson. Pride swelled, love domestic yet electric. Morning runs sinking breaths, nights tangled in sheets whispering futures. But distance tugged at Alex. His season ramped, road games stringing weeks apart, calls crackling with exhaustion. Missed the planning circus. He'd laugh, but undertone hinted isolation. The league's grind wearing grooves. Derek's replacement, a trainer named Liam, flickered in stories. Cool guy, low-key. But caution colored it, post-coming-out scars still pink. The proposal's echo rippled family. Dad, post-ring reveal, clapped Javier's back with uncharacteristic force. Welcome official, son. Treat him right, or answer to me. Mom's tears baptized the moment, her hug enveloping us both. My boys, love's grand slam. Alex, witnessing via video, hooped from a hotel treadmill. Details stat. And yeah, I'm walking you, Ben. No negotiations. Brotherhood's romance, platonic but profound, in these threads. Summer scorched into tryouts. MLS pitches gleamed unforgiving. I subbed early games, assists trickling, but a screamer against NYCFC. Top corner, crowd erupting, cemented rotation spot. Recognition surged. Local spots dubbing the poet mid. Fans chanting at tailgates. Javier's academy tourney win synced. His kids hoisting trophies like mini-Messis. But conflict brewed distant. Alex's Bulls pushed playoffs, his minutes ballooning, but a flagrant foul suspension. Elbow in heat of rivalry. Drew fines and fury. Lost my head. He confessed over cabin pre-wedding brunch. Ice pack on jaw. Pressure's a beast. We hiked it out. Javier mediating. Channel it. Your truth's your edge now. Liam tagged along virtually. His calm a counter to Alex's storm. Betrayal's whisper returned insidious. Wedding invites dispatched, but a tabloid leak, snapped at a Chicago fundraiser. Alex arm-in-arm with a pop starlet date. Spun headlines. Thompson twins. One out, one playing field. Panic call at 2 a.m. Ben, it's PR bullshit. They ambushed me. Liam's pissed. Thinks I'm backsliding. Rage mixed sympathy. Own the narrative, like before. He did. Instagram story. Candid. Date was business. Hearts with Liam. No games. Backlash lighter this time. Fans rallying. But Liam bolted. Too much noise. Heartbreak revisited. Alex crashing our apartment post-loss. Couch-bound with pizza and pity. Why is it harder now? Vulnerability raw. I held space, Javier brewing tea. Because stakes rise. But you're not alone. Dawn talks rebuilt. His fears of fading. My echoes from eldritch shadows. We recognize each other. That's enough, I said. He nodded, resolve flickering. Fall leaves turned wedding gold. Ceremony at the cabin, September sun gilding the lake. Guests a mosaic. Crew teammates in ill-fitting ties. Bulls alumni toasting with craft brews. Eldridge neighbors mingling with Javier's Chicago kin. Dad walked me, wait. No, Javier down the aisle first, his mom's brother escorting. Eyes shining. Then me. Alex's arm linked. His whisper, proud, twin. You're glowing. Vows exchanged under the pine arch. Words simple. Javier's, te elijo siempre. Mine my pitch, my home. Ring slid, kiss sealed. Cheers thundering like opening kicks. Reception bonfire lit. Dances blending salsa with two-step. Dad's speech cracking laughs and lumps. From cornfields to this. Love's the real MVP. Alex's toast, mic in hand. To Ben and Javier. Proofs that hearts score deepest. And to brotherhood. May it always recognize the unsung. Tears, hugs, night dissolving in stars. Post-honeymoon haze, quick keys getaway. Conch shells and catamaran sails, we settled marital rhythm. MLS season crested playoffs. My goal in knockouts propelled quarters, stadium pulsing. Javier's academy expanded, grants flowing. Alex's Bulls faltered first round, but he rebounded off season. Gym grind with Liam 2.0. A journalist, steady, unfazed by flashes. Visits synced. Chicago weekends, courtside to pitchside, twins trading autographs like secrets. Winter whispered warning. A crew injury, torn ACL in friendly. Sideline me months. Rehab a slog of ice baths and doubt. Javier anchored. Academy shifts covering bills, his patience a salve. This two's poetry, patience in pause. Alex flew in weekly, co-piloting workouts. Remember my sprain? Bounced back meaner. But envy crept mine, his highlight reels untouched, my timeline blank. Recognition's fragility hit. Am I just the sub now? Alex shut it down. You're the starter in life. Dad's cabin retreat, fishing rods in hand. Injuries build character, son. Like me, post-factory. Humanism, generational. Spring rehab body and bond. Return match, subbed late. Assist winner, roar deafening. Alex texted live. That's my twin. MLS contract extension followed. Stability suite. Javier's promotion. Head coach, youth national pipeline. Alex's engagement news. Liam, ring simple. Sparked joint cabin toast. To doubles. Brotherhood romanticized in parallels drawn. Climax brewed cross league. All-star showcase. MLS versus NBA charity hybrid. Thompson's captaining sides. Hype ballooned, twin captains out and proud, drawing record views. Night before, nerves jangled. Alex confessed hotel bar. What if we flop? Legacy online. I countered. Legacies us, together. Game electric. My volley from his bounce pass. Rules bent for fun, crowd delirious. Win sealed. Mike's thrust. For family, for love. Headlines. Thompson twins. United front. Summer stabilized. My MLS solidified starter. Javier's team nationals bound. Alex's wedding fall planned. Us best manning. Dad's health scare, minor heart, but wake up, drew us tighter, cabin rotations for recovery. Mom's strength steadied. We're the team. Recognition, billboards faded, but hearts etched permanent. Fall Alex's nuptials mirrored ours. Chicago loft, skyline views, vows echoing ours. We walked him, Javier's arm mine, toasting. To loves that see clear, brotherhood's arc, humanistic close. Not spotlights, but hearths. In America's arenas we played on recognized whole. Years folded like game tapes, fast-forwarding milestones into memories montage. My MLS All-Star nod in 28, captaining the East in a drizzle-soaked Columbus. Javier's scream from the stands drowning the PA as my penalty kissed the post then bulged net. Alex's first playoff triple-double in Chicago, post-game hug-crushing. His whisper, couldn't without you, lost in confetti storm. Our marriages synced rhythms. Javier and I adopting a rescue pup named Goalie. Furball chaos training us for bigger dreams. Alex and Liam fostering teens from the city. Their loft a revolving door of hoop dreams and heart talks. Dad's cabin evolved clubhouse. Expansions adding Thompson wing bunks for inevitable kids. Mom's garden yielded bumper crops. Jars of jam mailed cross-country like love letters. Eldridge faded backdrop, but roots tugged annual. Harvest festivals where we'd coach pop-up clinics. Kids wide-eyed at the twins. Dad grilling brats with tails taller than corn. Mid-30s hit reflective. My career plateaued graceful. Captaincy. Mentorship over glory. Assists tallying quiet legends. Javier's Academy Federation backed. Scouting internationals. His accent coaching a new generation. Nights, we'd debrief on porch swings. His head on my lap. Proud of the man you grew into, amor. Love, seasoned, deeper than youth's blaze. Comfort in silences, fire in touches. Alex's NBA arc peaked then curved. MVP whispers in 30, but knees creaked, retirement looming by 32. Not ready, he'd vent over video. Chicago skyline blurring tears. What after? We convened cabin summit, Javier and Liam plotting. Podcast? Coaching? Your voice, use it, I urged. He launched Twin Takes, us co-hosting episodes on grit, identity, sports soul, downloads surging, our stories humanizing headlines. Conflict resurfaced subtle, betrayal's long shadow. A docuseries pitch, Thompson Twins, from shadows to stars, promised glory but pride wounds. Producers grilled. The betrayal? Alex outing you? Old scar itched. I hesitated, Javier's hand steadying. Alex called defensive. Ben, it's our truth, raw, real. But tone echoed Eldridge, his narrative steering. Not if it buries mine. Standoff simmered, podcast hiatus. Dad mediated, voice gravel. Boys, fame's fleeting, families forever. Tell it true together. Cabin retreat. Fireside scripts, tears excavating. Alex admitted, feared losing control again. I forgave, fierce. We're co-stars. Series dropped 34. Emmy buzzed. Our arcs balanced. Soccer's poetry. Hoops thunder, love's bridge. Humanism bloomed personal. Javier's cancer scare, benign lump, but biopsy's weighed a thief. Stripped us bare. Hospital vigils. My hand in his. Alex flying red-eye. We're fighters. Clear bill echoed gratitude. Travels paused for presence. His academy sabbatical for us time. Alex's retirement roast, United Center packed. Us emceeing. Jokes on fumbles, toasts to trials. To Ben, the brother who taught me shines shared. Mic drop, embrace stage lit. Climax gentle, inevitable. Dad's passing 36. Quiet, sleep slipped after walleye dinner. Heart full. Cabin eulogy, we spoke tandem. Alex on drive, me on dreams. Javier translating losses poetry for his kin. Grief bonded triply, mom's anchor steady. Inheritance? Not timber, but legacy. Live loud, love deeper. Post-loss, chapters turned. My MLS twilight, assistant coach role beckoning. Javier's international post, but homebound. Alex's media empire takes Emmy-winning. Liam's book on foster journeys. Family expanded. Our IVF journey yielding Sophia, curls wild, kicking balls before words. Alex and Liam adopting Marcus, hoop prodigy with sass. Grandkids toddled cabin floors, dad's ghost in their giggles. Recognition's endgame? Hall nods duel, me NWSL/MLS builder, Alex NBA lore, but true acclaim domestic. Sophia's first goal, Marcus's dunk, mom's pride eternal. Brotherhood's romance, humanistic close. Under harvest moon that birthed us, fields unchanged, we gathered. Javier's hand mine, Alex's arms slung, stories looping. We were twins, one basketball, one soccer. Alex mused. Only one recognized? Nah, all of us, always. Laughter rose, stars winking. In America's heartland, legacies weren't trophies, but ties, woven, enduring, whole. Epilogue whispered. Decades on, graying on cabin porch, Sophia's wedding under pine arch, Marcus best manning. Us four twins, loves watching, hands clasped. Worth every foul, Javier murmured. Every shot, Alex echoed. I nodded, heart full. Recognized, finally, in love's unerring gaze.